Stack you hard, fool.
Good evening, family. Welcome to Lone Wolf Firearms. I am your host, Juan J. Johnson, coming at you live on this 28th day of January 2024 with another Lone Wolf Firearms broadcast. If you can hear me, please, I ask you to say something in the comments section. Give me a heart, give me a star. I've been had some technical difficulties with this platform. Did a video on the other day, Saturday, and all I had was volume. So first thing first, let me first apologize to you, all those who was waiting to hear and see the Dr. Claude Anderson video on Saturday. I had the tape was running, but there was no sound. But if you can hear me, please, somebody please send me a heart, send me a thumbs up, send me something. I need to make sure I am broadcasting and you are hearing me on this evening. We're going to do like a little small recap of what Dr. Anderson said on yesterday. Uh, I will have a video of the broadcast with the audio at a later date. But again, looking forward to sharing with you and just talking about what Dr. Anderson shared with us. Again, I'm hoping you can hear me. I'm hoping I'm broadcasting on these social media platforms. Again, I need you to call your friend, call a neighbor, family member, even a couple of enemies. I know that it's playoff season if you're in the United States of America. I know that people are probably watching the games. I have not watched the game or the games at all. I've been gearing up for this broadcast, and I'm here for that. Um, but I need for you all to pull away from the game, pull away from the games, and come in here and listen to me talk about responsible gun owners, gun users. Let's talk about a recap of what Dr. Anderson said. The three things that we can do right now. I got maybe a little interview from his website that I'm going to play, but we're going to talk about that tonight. We're going to talk about that tonight. So again, if you're new to the station, new to this platform, we talk about God and guns. We cannot separate God from guns and guns from God. And when I say guns, I'm talking about more than the gun that fits in your hand. I'm talking about weapons, weapons family. I'm talking about battleships. I'm talking about cruise ships. I'm talking about jets. I'm talking about nuclear weapons. I'm talking about not just soldiers, but tanks, F-16s, weapons, guns. When you talk about weapons or you talk about guns, I'm talking about the evolution of the gun. So again, this is a God and gun station, unapologetic, follower of the revolutionary Jesus the Christ. And we're going to deal with them guns and God. But tonight, again, we're going to talk about Dr. Anderson, do like a small recap of what he said, and we go from there. If you are interested in becoming a responsible gun owner, gun user, I'm going to need you to go to lwftraining.com. That's lwftraining.com and sign up for your wear and carry, your concealed carry, your HQL, which is a handgun qualification license, which allows you in the great state of Maryland to purchase a gun. Okay. Every state don't have an HQL. There are some states where you can just get your permit and you are gun ready to buy and to shoot. But in certain states, like this great state of Maryland, you got to have an HQL to purchase a gun. You got to have a wear and carry to carry a gun. So go to lwftraining.com. The classes for the wear and carry are 16 hours and more, probably about 20 hours. About 20 hours. It's a lot of information that you need. And the classes for the HQL, about 4.5 hours, 5 or 6 hours. Again, we want to make sure that you are thorough, that you know what you're doing, that when you have to stop that threat, you will be able to. Okay. And you will become that responsible gun owner and gun user, that you are embracing all of your Second Amendment rights, your right to bear arms, your right to be a well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of this free state, shall not be abridged, should not be hindered or whatever. Okay, so that's where we're going with this. Again, the Second Amendment, family, is not a suggestion. It's a right for the people. We're going to keep pushing this. You know why? We're going to keep pushing this. You know why? Because there are forces out here in this country who do not want you to exercise your Second Amendment, which is, again, a well-regulated militia. In the most simplest term, the people, not the Army, not the Navy, not the Air Force or the Marines, but the common person who's legal of age. He's not, or he or she is not prohibited from carrying and from owning a firearm, being necessary to the security of the free state. What does that mean? We Americans have these freedoms, that First Amendment. That First Amendment. Let me just put this up here. That First Amendment that provides that the Congress make no law prohibiting the free exercise of religion. You can practice whatever religion you want in America. You can practice being a Baptist, a Catholic, a Methodist, a Protestant. You can practice being Church of Satan if you want to. You know, it protects freedom of speech. This broadcast and many other broadcasts that come on these social media platforms. It protects the press, your legacy networks, your Washington Post, your Washington Times, your Heralds, whatever newspaper you subscribe to, and even those on the internet. Freedom of speech, freedom of press, the freedom of assembly, being able to come together and just assemble. You know, 2 or 3 assembling in these streets or just protesting the right of the people to petition the government for grievances. Okay? This is what the Second Amendment protects. Say this again. The Second Amendment protects the First Amendment. Again, the Second Amendment being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Family, we are in some very dangerous times, very hostile times. And we have people who will fund wars of the continents, other places in the world, They will supply arms to the citizens and to the government to protect themselves and their country. And these same people will go out their way to try to keep you from bearing arms. And I see the contradiction is clear as day. And that's one of the reasons why I'm on these airways, because I want to reintroduce to you that the Second Amendment is not a suggestion. It's the right of the people to bear arms. And I need you to be serious about bearing arms. I need you to be that well-regulated militia. What we have right now is going on in Texas at our borders. And there's a disagreement between the governor and the president about barbed wire and trying to secure the borders. And it could get very, very hostile down there, family. It could be. There are other states on board with Texas, okay, who are standing in allegiance, in agreement with Texas about securing the borders. We've seen on television, weekly, monthly, for the last year or so, 2 years, that our borders have not been protected. We're seeing those who are claiming asylum. We're not seeing a lot of families. We're seeing a lot of men. Millions have been coming into this country for the last couple of years. Okay? And it must be addressed. It must be addressed. So again, we need to exercise our Second Amendment because you don't know who's coming to your neighborhoods. You don't know what their record is. You don't know where they're from. I'm seeing at these borders that they are giving the border patrol or news personalities specific places that they're going to. Where do they do that at? Okay. So again, I need you to become responsible gun owners, gun users right now. Whether you come to lwftraining.com, whether you come to Along with Firearms, you just need to go somewhere. Go to somebody certified, authorized, legitimate, who can make you a responsible gun owner and gun user. You need that, like yesterday. Okay. So it's just that serious. I need you to take this serious. Again, I would hope that your legacy networks, your ABCs, your NBCs, your CBSs, your Foxes, your CNNs would be telling you what I'm telling you. Okay. But they're not. Okay. Again, they've kept us on a diet of entertainment for so long that we do not take things serious. Okay. But I'm here to warn you. I'm here to advise you. I'm here to tell you what to do. Okay, to make the suggestion to become responsible gun owners and gun users. All right. So with that said, let's get into my topic right now about Dr. Claud Anderson and his contribution to humanity and what the broadcast he did on yesterday, which was a powerful broadcast he did on yesterday. To those who do not know Dr. Anderson, let me just, fair usage. Let me show you a little video, Dr. Anderson, from his website. Okay, I pulled this off his website because again, the broadcast yesterday, we'll have access to that probably before the week is out. But let me just pull up a small snippet of Dr. Anderson speaking about Black group economics for the survival of our people. And I'll be right back after this. Hold on a second.
Okay, so first our model then should be ideally be Indians. We can track them and do some of the same things they did, and that means that not only will we try to follow their policies, of non-integration, but trying to be a separate people and getting them as much advantage as you possibly can. Secondly, under the doctrine of trust, make the government responsible because we are just as weak. Nobody is more weak than slaves. And see, the Indians were not enslaved; they were free, and yet they are now classified as weak and weak people. So they're given all these benefits. That's why their kids can go to school and get free college education. That's why they got 28 universities in the country. So we then want to get some of those same identical benefits that Indians are getting. So when people start telling you every time black folk want to say, we need this and that, and they say, well, Dr. Anderson, black folk are not as bad off as the Indians. I say, if the Indians are that poor, make black folk like Indians. Treat us like Indians if they're that poor. See, but they always want to try to neutralize any concern you have about correcting conditions of black folk by pointing to Indians. And they point to those Indians who are sitting out here on the reservation, they're sitting there waiting for something. And so what I'm telling them, then let us be treated like that. Treat my people like Indians. Let us be tax exempt. Well, we don't pay any taxes every year. We play the same game they're playing, okay? Now the next thing we want to do is we got to be prepared to start answering some of these people who are going to be opposed to reparations for black folk. They're going to come at you in three different ways. The first group that's going to come after you are going to be whites. You can rest assured right now that 100% of all white people in America are opposed to reparations for black folk. You must be ready to deal with that. Be ready to deal with it. Because they're going to be opposed to you for a very simple reason. That's called racism, racism. Racism means maintain the conditions on black folk the way they always were. So they don't want you to change anything. So they're going to come after you. But keep in mind that whether or not white folks want reparations for black folk is immaterial. We could care less about what they think. That's not the issue. That's because in a system of justice, when it is not the perpetrator's responsibility to decide whether or not you're entitled to compensation. See, in other words, if you ran over my house right now and killed my dog or something, I sue you, you can't say, well, I killed your dog and tore up your house, but I'm against your suing me. That's immaterial to me. It is black folks' decision whether or not they want reparations and how they're going to get it. And they start telling about white folks oppose it. Fine. I told you a few minutes ago, 99% of all the white people in America were opposed to freedom for black folk out of slavery. Keep that in mind. 99% were opposed to your being freed in 1860 at the eve of the Civil War. Also doing integration. You had about 87% of all the white people in America were opposed to integrating. So whether or not they want emancipation or not is immaterial. So be ready to deal with them. The second group you got to deal with are going to be black folk. You're going to have all kind of black folk in this country going to be opposed to reparation for you. They're going to be jumping out. They're going to be jumping out of the woodwork. They're going to be jumping out of the woodwork because they're scared to death. They're just as scared now as they were in 1860. They're going to say, we don't have anything, and when we ask for something, they'll take away what we got. And we don't have anything, but they'll take nothing away from us. And so you're going to have that group that's always scared, and they're always going to say, it's better for us to have nothing than you try to get something, because that way they'll take us back to nothing, which is where we are already. So watch out for that group. They're going to be coming out. The other group you're going to come out against, you're going to be a lot of your black leadership in America. The black leadership is going to come out of the walls. Whites are going to pay a lot of blacks to come out against reparations for black folk. Okay? And I've already been told this by one of the biggest white law firms that I know, have already sat across the table for me and my staff, said, Dr. Anderson, we're going to help you all with reparations. These are Jews now. Said, we'll help you all with reparations, but the problem you got to watch out for is that you're going to have all kinds of blacks coming out against you. And I said, I doubt that. And they said, no. They said, I said, how do you know that? They said, we might be white, but we're not stupid. They said, we know there are blacks in America who are paid. They're paid to come out against you all on everything you want to do to get black folk out of the ditch. We know that.
And that was Dr. Claud Anderson from his website, Harvest International website, Powernomics website. I was able to get that video off of his website. That was the man, that was the myth, that was the legend that was speaking on Saturday about what we need to do, about reparations, about who's against us getting reparations, the classes of people who are paid for us not to get it, our distractors. That was a snippet of a broadcast that he did, actually, at Dr. Frederick, Dr. Frederick Douglass's, 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 Dr. Frederick Douglass's K. Price Church, peace be upon him. Dr. Price, he did a series called Race, Religion, and Racism back in the 90s. And Dr. Anderson was a guest speaker. After Dr. Price did that Race, Religion, Racism series, the powers that be literally went after him and like almost shut him down. That was like one of the first times outside of King, and you had your civil rights leaders, the Malcolms, the Martins, the Farrakhan's, that was the Huey Newton, Fred Hamptons. That was part, and he was a religious uh, preacher who dealt with the issues race, religion, racism. Frederick Price was a darling to white America. Frederick Price was one of the first preachers who probably was bought in that word gospel, the word doctrine. You know, he was a darling. I mean, Frederick Price probably couldn't do no wrong until he stepped into that whole race, religion, racism conversation. And from that, they hurried up and got him off the air. Okay, Frederick Price became an anomaly. So so that video you saw was a video of uh, Dr. Claud Anderson at his church speaking to his congregation. But he wasn't just speaking to the congregation. Frederick Price had a global audience. Okay, and the points that he made was this: look, uh, Black Americans deserve reparations, no matter how you cut this. Okay, and the way they've been funding these wars, you're giving away 300, 500 million, correction, $500 billion for the Ukraine war. Giving them a minimum 35 billion for the war in Israel. We haven't even dealt with the other wars that's being delegated, being sponsored in Africa and parts around the world. So when reparations topic comes up, hey, everything must be on the table right now. They are giving so-called migrants, immigrants that cross the border, they're giving them $3,000 a month stipends and phones, letting them stay in the state until their court date. Correction, in the nation until their court dates. How do you come across the border, get $3,000, right, and a phone, and sent to whatever state you want to go to until you have your visa, your immigration court date? But at the same time, no reparations for your most trusted, loyal group of people. That would be colored, Negro, African American, whatever you subscribe to, Foundation of Black Americans, ADOS, American Descendants of Slaves, whatever they call us. Okay, so Dr. Anderson came on Saturday, and this was some of the things that he discussed. Reparations. Family, I don't believe America can go no further until they do right by their Black descendants, children of chattel slavery. Okay, you cannot, as a country, continue to give everybody else resources and deny the very people whose blood is in the soil of this nation, who basically built this nation. America was not America until slavery came into existence. Okay? Again, I've said before, the foundation of America has always been the weapons. You don't have America without guns. That's why I say God and guns and guns and God. But the two pillars of America has to be slavery and genocide. Oh, I know that hurts. Oh, I know that hurts. I know it hurts because we always talk about the founding fathers. Yes, I understand the history of this country. I do. I do. But you don't have this country, family, without slavery. You must put into context. According to America's records, 1619, the little ship that came into Portsmouth, Virginia, was the first inhabitants from Africa, right? 1619 to 2019 is 400 years. 1619 to 1865 was like 257 years of free slave labor. Come on, man. Come on. Come on. There was a promise. There was a promise by this nation to fund my ancestors. And the check that was issued came back in sufficient funds. We have a right to what our ancestors built. Okay. And until this country do right by us, there's an old proverb: what you sow, you got to reap. What you plant, you're going to have to pluck up one day. I am a very keen person who understands and can see when the judgment is on a nation, a city, a county, a municipal, a group of people. And I know how to get out the way when there's judgment. And I think that in our country, we have become, what the powers that be have become, the authority on pointing fingers at others and forgetting there's three other fingers pointing at you. When I point one finger at you, there's three other fingers pointing at me. Okay. And we need to be serious. We need to be we need to be we need to practice what we preach. We need to practice what we preach. Again, this is a recap of Dr. Claud Anderson's interview on the 27th of January 2024. Three things that he specified that we can do right now as a people who have been betrayed by leadership. When I say leadership, I'm talking about the civil rights leaders. I'm talking about your Soros, your frats, a lot of organizations that basically have the influence, have the money, have the resources, have the connections, but they have not looked out for us. And they continue not to look out for us. And Dr. Anderson was very plain and very clear about those who have betrayed the collective family. So, again, I don't really talk about this. I got a lot of videos on social media. I talked about this some years ago. I'm not one to stay on a topic. When I'm finished talking about it, I move on to something else. And actually, right now, I see myself entertaining my thoughts and my words from yesteryear. And I think that I'm aware of what I see, what's going on. I'm aware that a lot of information that I put out there years ago is come back. And some of us need to know this, that stuff that you're dealing with right now is some stuff you said you did years ago. Okay. But it's come back. With that said, let me see if I can put up maybe Dr. Anderson's website. Let me see something. Yes, okay, here it is right here. So these are some of the books that Dr. Anderson has uh, on his website. Powernomics. Go to Powernomics. You see Black Labor, White Wealth. You see Black History Reader. Uh, you see Powernomics. You can buy these books on his website. Powernomics. Go to Powernomics, okay, .com. That's powernomics.com and pick up these 3 books. All right. As a matter of fact, right here, you can get all 5 books and a CD. You can get all 5 books and a CD. It's called the Library Pack for $99. Black Labor, White Wealth, Powernomics, Dirty Little Secrets in Black History, and more Dirty Little Secrets, plus the CD. You can get all that for $99. It's a great deal. Okay. Show you this one. Powernomics again. You can get it by itself. Go to powernomics.com. That's POWERNOMICS, powernomics.com, and pick up these resources from Dr. Claud Anderson. These books, or you can give them as gifts. And look, Dr. Anderson is not no just to anybody. Even you can get it on DV too, the DV sets, DVDs, 3-pack DVDs. So if you don't want to read it, you can listen to it. Okay? Be not deceived, family. Dr. Anderson is not just some Johnny come lately. He's been on The Breakfast Club. You see a picture of him and Charlemagne, the God. Okay. He's been on the Vicki Dillard Show. Okay. He was a guest of Dr. Boyce Watkins. So Dr. Anderson has gotten around. He was a steady guest on WOL with the Carl Nelson Show, 1450 WOL. So Dr. Anderson's been around for a long time. He's not new to this game. He's true to this game, and I call him one of the original lone wolves because a lot of people didn't have his back. He did a great work in Detroit, Michigan, trying to do his fish farm with tilapia and I believe catfish, and he didn't get the support that he didn't get the support. You know, so again, I need you to be serious about supporting Dr. Anderson and his work. I need you to be serious about supporting us, the things we do. I think, we're always talking about, we need to support, but when it's time to support, we don't support. Make that make sense. Can somebody make that make sense? When it's time to support, we don't support. Huh? Make it make sense, man. Let's get behind people who are doing things for us. Let's get behind people who are serious. Let's get behind them. Again, I want to also salute Sister Sean of Sister Speaks with Sister JD on the program on yesterday. I want to salute Dr. Randy Short from the Angry Black Man Book Club. I want to salute on their Next with Chef C, the Bloodlines production, and Sister P. Ray from WVON out of Chicago, who were all on the show on last night, on yesterday, bringing to you, to some, introducing to others, Dr. Claud Anderson. Again, we give him his flowers right now. He's still here. We respect him as an elder because, again, he's 85, 86 years old, still sharp as a knife, and still standing on the line, trying to get us to practice group economics for the survival of our species. And with that said, let me go right into my 3 things that Dr. Anderson said what we can do now. What can we do now? He said, number 1, he said, money is good. Practice group economics and embrace capitalism. We need to look at money as good. We had too many preachers or too many ministers who promoted this money is not good. They make money out to be evil, but when it's time to pay a bill or to do a building fund for a church or to get a ring or to get some nice new outfits for the congregation, they raise those offerings. Okay, they raise those offerings. Money is good. I didn't say the love of money. I said money is good. You know why money is good? Because money is like blood. If you don't have blood, you don't have circulation. Money is to be circulated. Money is to be used. Money pays bills. Money provides access to trips. Money picks up, you can purchase luxury items. You can loan somebody some money. You can borrow some money. But money is good, and we must practice group economics. And he said, we must embrace capitalism. Okay? That's what Dr. Claud Anderson said yesterday. Embrace capitalism. Do not embrace socialism. It has not worked. It is not working. And that's why a lot of people who are coming to America, they're coming from socialist countries. They're coming from countries that practice socialism. Okay? I'm gonna keep it a buck. Okay? Number 2, he says you gotta own the land. You must own the land. You must own your land. He said in 1865, 1866, after the Civil War, Black Americans, the Negro, coloreds owned 1.1% of the land. And that was in 1865, 1866. Now in 2024, he said they still own 1.1% of the land. We need to own the land, family. You need to own as much land as you can. Okay? And you need a vision for the land. And if you don't have a vision for the land, you need to get with your family members or some friends, somebody who you trust. And you need to sit down and discuss how can we magnify, how can we grow a business on this land? What can we use this land for? But we need to own the land. We need to own the land from Maine to California. And we need to get together with a plan to cultivate the land, to provide housing, maybe grocery stores, maybe little shops, okay? Maybe some tools and hardware shops, okay? Maybe some IT shops. When I say shops, I'm just talking about some businesses. Maybe some farming. Maybe it's time for us to grow our own food. As you can see, the prices are going up. Inflation is at an all-time high. Okay? And we may just need to no, we need to own the land. Okay? But that was the second thing he said. We need to own the land, build on the land, because if you own it, they can't take it from you. If they do, It's a longer process versus if you're just renting. They can always go up on you and rent you right off that land. But if you own it, then you'll be responsible for the taxes. Okay. But own your land. And he said, number 3, he said, you need to close your neighborhoods up. What do you mean by that? He said, in closing your neighborhoods, you just can't let anybody in your neighborhood. When the sun go down, you need to shut the neighborhood down. You just can't have anybody come in and extract your resources. You just can't have foreigners coming in your land and you don't know who they are. That's why we have a lot of kidnappings, okay? Missing people, persons, okay? And people who can come in and just take the resources and leave. We have to close your neighborhoods up. We have to control everything that comes in and goes out. We must do like other communities. What do? They monitor who sets up shop in their neighborhoods. They monitor what they're selling. Let me tell you something. A perfect example is Florida. I rarely seen Asian restaurants in Florida. In the parts that I visited, the Miamis, the Fort Lauderdales, the Tampas, you don't see them. You do not see Asian restaurants. I may have seen 1 or 2, and that was in maybe Fort Lauderdale. Those neighborhoods are closed up. And we have Asians right now complaining that when they come here, they're told that they cannot set up shop in certain white communities. But you can set up all the shops you want in black neighborhoods. Let's keep it 100. Let's keep it 100, family. Okay? So again, these are the 3 points that Dr. Claud Anderson gave yesterday when he spoke. What can we do now? Practice group economics. Okay? Embrace capitalism. Okay? Own the land. Okay? And close your neighborhoods up. Monitor who's coming in the neighborhoods. And we can do that right now. Right now. Okay? That is what Dr. Anderson shared, among other things he shared. But that was a good question that he answered, that what we can do now. I asked him a question about security and defense. And he did say, we need to secure neighborhoods. We need to be able to defend our neighborhoods. Okay. Now, you know how I do with this defense piece. I'm with the guns. I'm with the weapons. I'm with whatever it takes to maintain the integrity and the security of the neighborhood. Okay. For me, it's about security. It's about security. It's about defending. To me, I know what my goal is, my role is right now. And that's to reintroduce to you, reintroduce to the collective security and defense. Okay. To turn back on, to reactivate your self-preservation switch. There's a lot of our switches, our self-preservation switch has been deactivated. Okay. So I want you to reactivate it. And I want also, again, for us to practice group economics for the survival of the species. I want us to be around another 100 years. I want this nation to be around. You know, for me, it's not an us against them. The blood of my ancestors is in the soil of this nation. And before this nation's soil can say any word, it coughs up the blood of my ancestors. If we keep it 100. Okay? So again, I'm going to bring this thing to an end. I need you to go to lwftraining.com. I need you to go to lwftraining.com. I need you to subscribe to the station, to the platform, wherever you see it played. I need you to like or dislike it. And I need you to share. And I need you to also support. Support. You see the Cash App. You see the PayPal. I need you to support. You know, we support everything but what we should support. We support foolishness. Okay. I am working on right now, again, Patreon platform where I just have subscribers where you can see another side of me and get more intimate details, information, because again, I've told you before that I don't even know what I can say on these platforms now because I've been flagged multiple times. They said I breached the community policy, and they've given me strikes, and I'm not even sure when they're going to pull me off because again, they're not used to seeing brothers, serious brothers, promoting responsible gun ownership, self-defense. And now if I was talking some foolishness, if I was a clown, if I was inappropriate, if I was cruddy, if I was ratchet, oh man, man, they promote that. But because I'm serious about safety, security, about you being responsible gun owners, gun users, oh, they don't want that. But it's more than one way to catch a bird. You know, it's more than one way to catch a rabbit. I don't say skin, I'll say catch. I'm not trying to hurt nobody. Again, I'm always saying no harm to anyone. But if I got to stop the threat, I'm going to stop the threat. And I want you to do too. I want you to also stop the threat. Okay? So we're going to bring it in. We're going to bring it in. I want to thank you all for tuning in. I'm hoping I'm broadcasting. I'm hoping that you hear me. Nobody gave me a star or a thumbs up. I don't know if you hear me or not. I'm not sure, but I'll find out when this over and I'll replay it back if you've heard me. Again, this thing was a whole hour yesterday and nothing happened. So we're just going to hope that you can hear me. And I just hope that you can hear me. I need you to reshare this at a later date today. I need you to, again, subscribe to the channel. I need you to hit the like, unlike. It's good for the algorithm. And just know that, you know, I'm optimistic and things will get better. Things will get better. Again, I'm going to leave you. But before I leave you, I'm gonna give you one more look at that new video that my man, one of my lone wolf students, produced this for me. That's right. But you see it again. The long-awaited intro, the new intro, and the exit in the Wolfpack video. I'll show y'all again one more time.
Stack you hard, fool.
And that was a video produced by one of my students. My man Trey, salute you. Salute my man Trey. He produced this for me. Moving forward, that would be the intro and maybe the outro. I'm gonna have to put his description. I need to put his description, put his information in the description, so you can, if you're interested in having Trey to do you a video like that, he will do it. Look, look, he's a platinum award-winning, whatever they do, creator. He's a creator, okay, and he's fast too, kind of fast. So look, let me get up out of here. I want to wish you health. I want to wish you happiness. I want to wish you love. I want to wish you success. I want to wish you prosperity. I want to wish you wealth. I want to wish you resources, everything you need for your next level. And I also want you to have unlimited money. That's my wish. That's my prayer for you. Any and everybody under the sound of my voice, I want you to be healthy, happy, love, success, prosperity, wealth, resources, and unlimited money. That's what I want for you today. I mean, right now. I want it for you right now. And also, I want you to know this. It's not how much you know. It's how much you care, family. And there is a lone wolf in you just waiting to come out. Let him out. Let him out. With that said, have a great evening. Have a great day. Lone Wolf 1 is out.